girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. I like the girls with their nails done. Girls with their nails done. I like the girls with their nails done. Girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done.
All right. Good morning. Welcome, everyone. Welcome back. Morning, morning, morning. CPI day. CPI day. Good morning, guys. How's the video quality look? Is there any difference? Do we see any difference? A little bit laggy. Margin call. Good morning. Morning, guys. Chef, Dino, Margin, Ponzi, DP, Barefoot Sailing. I'm going to call you BSA. Son, Pat, Chef, CJ, Larry, Jacob, Britt, Closer, Tashumbi. Yeah, a little bit jerky, right? I think I might be shooting in a maybe too high of an FPS. I'm moving around to test it. We'll see. I'll work through it. A little bit laggy though, right? I see it on my side too. Yeah, new camera. Yeah, more out of it's because the aperture. I increased the aperture. Let me see if I lower it. The lower, yeah, that makes it a little bit darker. Gotta change the ISO now. Shutter speed too high? Is that what it would be? Shutter speeds, I mean, it's at 125th of a second. 125. Is that too high or too low? Might be because I'm shooting in 4K. Computer might not have the juice. I don't know. We'll see. We'll figure it out. Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing. I don't think OBS I don't think can handle it either. When I shoot it on like a memory card, it looks so good. It looks so good. Yeah, there'll be some getting used to. But anyways, I'll figure it out. I'll work on it. Maybe I just use the other camera for live streams, and then I'll use this camera for like the actual videos. But good morning, guys. Welcome back. Sorry about some of we're working through. When you get a new camera, you got to work through the settings a little bit. So new camera today, but settings are a little bit off, I think. But anyways, that's all right. We're not here to care about what the camera looks like. It doesn't matter what I look like. It matters about the levels we talk about. Who cares what I look like? Let's talk about the levels. That's the more important thing. Welcome back. Press that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Today, CPI. CPI today. Big time. Big time, big time, big time. Let's see what happens. Yesterday, beautiful holds of 5,400. Absolutely beautiful holds of 5,400. Just sick. Sick 5,400 hold on the ES, creating that upside, creating that pullback long. Just was an awesome setup, right? Was just an awesome setup on the intraday. We saw that hold. We saw that pullback long. That was really it. And that was where the thing we just went, right? Over that 538 the 450, what was it? 456 on Qs. Yep, and then over that 538 on SPY. When we got those holds intraday yesterday, it was great. It was great. So awesome stuff there. We longed yesterday after that 456 hold. After that 456 hold yesterday, we were entering some longs with the group, and that was really the start of the upside. So congrats there. We had those levels to a T yesterday, and they were the levels that caused the reactions. So nice stuff. Congrats if you caught a piece. Today, it's all unknown, right? Everything's totally different today. Everything's unknown today. CPI reading 830, and that's going to be, you sort of got to erase everything you saw yesterday. Erase the memory, and just reset, right? Reset. Make sure you are just open to any opportunity today, because that CPI reading can change a lot. So let's make sure we do that. Let's go ahead and jump into the levels, into the charts. Let's jump into that CPI. Here we go. So economic calendar first. Let's pull that up. Here is the economic calendar right here. You guys can see today is that CPI reading. So right here you can see CPI 830, big time. This is the big move. This is the big event. Let's make sure we're watching that. That's in about 24 minutes. Tomorrow, retail sales, unemployment claims. That's also big tomorrow as well. All right. We know that today's CPI. Let's move forward. Let's not spend too much time just staring at that economic calendar. Here is the expectations for CPI. You guys can see right here. The forecast today is 3%. Last reading was 3%. The last forecast is 3.1. Today, the forecast is 3%. What does this come in at? This is the big question mark here today. Okay? So that's that. What is on my neck? It's a hair. Keeps messing with my neck there. All right. Anyways, let's continue. All right. So that's that. Let's jump into 24 FPS, 50 shutter speed. Okay. I'm going to take a screenshot of that wild, and I'll try that later. Thank you. All right. Let's jump into the Nasdaq futures. Let's go ahead and jump into what happened yesterday, and let's talk about everything that created the upside move. So here was yesterday's market, and yesterday we knew that 18.8, if you guys were not aware of 18.8, then you absolutely did not pay attention to anything that we talked about. All right, 18.8, we had that high. We had that high in the pre-market. We saw that rejection off 18.8 in the pre-market. We saw that rejection on Monday at 18.8, right? And yesterday, 18.8 was the exact hold level that created the upside. Absolutely perfect. Right there, right here. Boom, 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 boom. Perfect level, perfect hold. These are the reactions you look for intraday to find your trading opportunities. This was sick. So, 18.8 break and retest, created that upside, pretty much went higher the entire day since that point. And that was it, right? That was it. Over 18.8, we talked about that move towards that 19,000, and that is exactly what we got. So if we go to this hourly chart on the Nasdaq futures, you can see we talked about that 18.8, right? 18.8. Talked about that 18.8. We got above it. Next level was that 19,000 and that daily 20 SMA. That's exactly where we traded into. And so today, right? Today, what are we watching? We're looking to see, does the Nasdaq futures hold above 19,000 today? Do we hold above 19K? Do we hold above this 20 SMA? Do we hold above this 100 SMA? Right? And do we find the demand in this zone? Right? You can see end of day yesterday that buying was stepping up in this zone. Do we see it step up again today? Do we have that hold in the 19,000, in this 19,050 area? If this level creates that hold, you are going higher, okay? If we hold above 19K today, right, and you just see that buying stepping in around that 20, around that 100 SMA, you are going higher. Now, on the flip side, if the CPI reading creates downside and we do fail back under 19K, this is probably your spot to see some slippage today, right? If we do see that 19,000 reject, and we do see that daily 20 SMA reject, that is absolutely the potential of a little slip action today under 19K, right? Under 19K, possibly back down to that 18.8, right? Very possible, right? Guys, we went straight up. Awesome for yesterday. Awesome for trades intraday yesterday. But you guys know what we talk about. Straight up leaves behind an ugly path at times. And straight up could mean straight down. It's very possible, right? So we got to be careful of this straight up. If we do fail back under 19K, I think you are at risk of that straight up becoming straight down. So we need to make sure we're aware of that. We need to make sure we're aware of that. That is something that has to be focused on, okay? So 19K, very, very clear today. If we can hold above it, I think more upside. And to be honest, guys, if I look at this hourly chart, I really do believe that the Nasdaq futures should, unless the CPI totally trashes us, we should test this high right here. This looks to be the high that should get tested right around that 19,400, right? 19,400, 19,400, 19,400. That looks to be the spot that we should likely test, okay? That's if the market can withstand itself today and hold over that 19,000 level. If we do, 19.4 would be my target. If we break under 19K, then I think you're trading back to 18.8. Okay? We will see that in about 20 minutes. We will get an idea of what happens in about 20 minutes. QQQ. We talked about that 456 level. We talked about that in the pre-market. If you guys were here in the pre-market, you saw the rejection that came in, right? That pre-market rejection, 456. Very nice. Off that 100 SMA. Yesterday, you guys saw on the intraday, we had the most beautiful and perfect and sexual, right? That's what I like to call it, sexual. Hold of 456. I mean, it was just insane. No sound. Turn on your speakers, my friend. So, yesterday, we had this pop at the open over 456. We had the pullback into 456, and it could not have gotten better at 456 yesterday. Absolutely perfect. This is where we started the long. This is where we longed Nvidia yesterday on the hold of 456. That was awesome. Held above the 100, held above 456. Just perfect holds according to our levels. Next level was 460. Next level was 460, right? Which was right here. That 460, that 20 SMA, that was our next level. And you can see right here, yesterday, end of day. Look at this. Look at this. 460, 460, just holding. Absolutely perfect. So The levels are just leveling, man. That's what yesterday was. It was just levels doing the levels, right? And if you just followed them, there's absolutely opportunity, right? 460, 456. What a beautiful hold of those two levels yesterday. Now, that makes it very clear what we need to see today, right? That makes it extremely clear what we need to see today, okay? If we do not see 460 hold, right? If we pull back to 460 and this does not hold, then we are expecting downside towards that 456 again, right? If we do not hold 460 and we see rejections here intraday, we are expecting 456. We're expecting a move back to the 100 SMA. If we pull back to 460 and see that daily 20 step up and see that buying step up, this is likely that next pullback long that could create a very big opportunity. And I think the target here would be right here on the hourly chart, 468, 468, 468, 468, 468, and that would be my next target, okay? So today is very clear, 460, 456, 468. Very clear levels. Can we get a pullback long at 460? If we break 460, I think we slip to 456. Can we get a hold at 456, right? That could also be very interesting on a little pullback long of 456. We'll watch that as well. Under 456, that's where I think everything flips, okay? Make sure you understand that. If we get back under this 456 level today and we fail back under the 100, that is where I think you start to see the flip. You start to see the sellers step back in. S&P 500 futures, 1 hour chart yesterday. We were talking about, and it was just about as clear as it could possibly be, the 5,400 supply and the 100 SMA, right? I don't think it could have been any cleaner yesterday. 5,400, 5,400. We saw this level in the pre-market. We built that idea. We said, hey, if we move into 5,400, let's be careful of that potential rejection. If we get above 5,400, let's look to see if that turns into support. And, I mean, look at this thing, right? Look at this thing. 5,400, absolutely perfect. That is the level, right? We saw that pop. We saw that pullback. We saw that 54 get defended. And that was a sick hold that created that upside the rest of the day. Next level was here at 54.40, 54.50. That was those hourly lows, right? Right here. We saw these hourly lows right here, 4-hour lows, 54.40, 54.50. And you can see right now, we're just simply holding right above it. So if the S&P 500 futures holds above 54.40, 54.50 today, holds above that daily 20 SMA, right? If we do get some drama, but this thing does hold, you are going to see upside, okay? If you hold here, you are going to see upside. 54.40, 54.50, that is your level today. Look for those pullback longs. If you break under 40 today, that is where I think you get your slippage, okay? If you break under 40 and you break back under the daily 20 and you start to see rejections below it, that is where I think you start to see your slippage, and that is possibly the move back down to 5,400. The straight up, that could equal straight down, okay? That is 54.40. That is a must-hold level, okay? If we hold here at the 40.50, then I think you're moving up to this 54.85, sorry, right here. 54.85 is right here. I think that's your next test, 54.85. Then you got your 50 SMA at 55.06, and then you got the channel highs at 55.30, okay? 55.30 is this channel high, and I think a very possible test level if the market stays strong. So yesterday, all it was a hold over 5,400, and we knew that level, a hold above the 100 SMA, would create that upside. Beautiful holds, 5,400 upside above 54.40, 50, right? And so today we're watching to see, does this level turn into a new support? If it fails, we're moving lower. Okay, very easy. Just got to watch the levels. SPY, we talked about that 538, right? We said we wanted to see SPY over 538. That is right here, 538, 538. As clear as can possibly be, double bottom low on the SPY on the pretty much every chart, hourly, 4-hour, daily, right? Everything. For 538, Sam, you can't say that PPI tanks the market if PPI was yesterday, man. All right, if we're going to be a Nostradamus, and guess what happens? At least let's make sure we know what date is coming out. CPI is today. 538. 538. You guys can see right here. 538. That's very clear. Double bottom low at 538 previously. And when we held above that level yesterday, that is where I started to feel confident on the longs, right? You can see right here, we had that 538 break and retest intraday. And that is where I took my SPX calls yesterday. Took my SPX calls above 538. We saw that hold on the intraday. And when I saw that hold above 538 yesterday, that was where I took my SPX calls. And that was really the beautiful 538 break and retest. Okay? So above 538, right? That is very important. The next level I'm watching here is 543.50 and the 50 SMA, right? You can see right there. 543.50 and the 50 SMA is the next supply, right? And above that, you get your 548, which is that channel high supply, right? Right here. 548, 548, 548. That is your next supply above if you hold higher. That's if, right? I can't tell you whether that's going to happen. We will see at 8:30 in about 10 minutes. All right? So, if we do not hold, last thing, if we do not hold above 538, we are going to see the downside come in. Okay? This is very important, guys. Pay attention to this. If we do not hold above 538, right here, if we do not hold above this, I believe you will see the selling come back in. You need to hold above this 538, in my opinion. This is not a good break if we go back below it. All right? So, 538, 538, you want to see that turn into a new low, guys. You do not want to see the market flip back below this structure right here, right? We want to see the market stay in this structure. If we fail back below, right? If we fail back below 538, then we are going to see some potential downside, okay? All right? So, watch that 538 today. That is very important. Guys, I'm not like that much of an asshole. I just like to make some jokes, right? When people try to guess what's happening, I make jokes to try to stop that habit. That's why I do it, okay? I do not like us guessing what's going to happen. It is not worth even thinking about, right? I have no idea what's going to happen here, but I do know that I am paying attention to the levels that I'm going to watch to make trades off of. So I don't mean it personally, okay? I've never a personal, I don't make these attacks personally, but I do it to try to stop the Nostradamus acts, okay? That is my one, you guys should know that by now. If you come to my live stream and you're going to give me some Nostradamus act, right, you're probably going to get some backlash, okay? That's just, you should expect it. And it comes from a place of hopefully stopping bad habits, okay? That's just who I am, right? You got to expect it now, right? If you're going to come to the live stream and put some Nostradamus act in the chat, you got to be able to accept that I'm probably going to push back on you, right? That's just how it's going to be, okay? That's just how it's going to be. So you can do it, right? If you want to have some fun, I'll give you some banter, right? I'll give you back something. If I don't mind it. It's sort of fun to me. I enjoy it, actually. This is how I get to laugh in the morning. I enjoy doing it. I don't mean it personally. It's not like if I saw Sam in the real world, I'd be like, oh, look at this guy, But I'm not going to just let it slide, man. I'm not going to just let it slide. I'm gonna. If I see it, I'm calling it. So, just a little bit of fun, guys. That's all. So, 210 on IWM. That's the level. Okay, 210 IWM. That's the level today. 210 IWM, 208.50. Can't go lower. No, it wasn't can't go lower. It was. Oh yeah, it was can't go lower. It was can't go lower like before it was a few days, when was it? I think it was can't go lower was it on Monday or something like that? I don't know. We can't go lower. Maybe it was on Thursday of that last week. All right. So we got about 7 minutes. Nvidia, man. Congratulations, guys. Big congratulations on Nvidia. I'm going to go ahead and pull up my E-Trade account. Just share with you guys the swings that I am still holding. Press that like button, man. 2,300 people, press that like button. Come on. Press it. Press it. So I have taken off quite a bit of my Nvidia swings before this CPI reading, guys. I have been doing the proper thing, right, of at least taking something off. I am still holding some. You know, I'm always going to give a little bit of risk here, but I've taken off majority of this. Let me go ahead and zoom in. Zooming in here, I had some August 100 calls that I'm fully out of. I had about 20 of these September 100 calls that I got fully out of, or not fully out of. I'm down to 5, and then I'm pretty much down to pretty light size across the board. But here's what I continue to hold. This is the September 100 calls. I bought those at 12 back on Thursday of last week. They're up at 20. And then I bought the 105s at 9. They're up at 16. This is all back on Thursday, guys. This is all back in the Discord when we were talking about the Nvidia swings back here on Thursday. That was right here. That's when I was entering all these positions and sort of thinking about that contrarian thought process on Nvidia. And so I am still holding some. You know, if it pulls back, so be it. Maybe I give back, you know, maybe I'm go from up 60% to up 30, 20%. Maybe I go back to break even, whatever. I'm willing to give this a chance. I got the E-Trade account, man, because so I'll tell you the honest truth, guys. I am really just interested in investing in this right here, guys. So you can see I got about 100,000 in a money market mutual fund, the VMFXX, right? So I pretty much started this account just to get involved in the VMFXX. I can't buy this in M1 Finance. They don't have money market mutual funds. So I needed like a full-time broker, right? Like an E-Trade, a TOS, one of those. And I didn't want to put it into my trading account, which is an Interactive Broker. So I said, hey, I already got E-Trade. Let me go ahead and, I want to put my money in a money market mutual fund. This is where you get your highest yield on pretty much risk-free assets. I mean, it's the only risk here is if the U.S. economy goes to zero. But I get about 5.3% on the money market mutual fund, so I wanted to start putting my cash in here. So I started doing that, and life of a trader. You're sitting at this, you're looking at buying power, and you're like, maybe I'll just use this as some, deep in the money, longer term, swing trades. I'll maybe throw a few in here to sort of keep that out of my Interactive Brokers account. Keep that to sort of that scalping. That's why I got this. So, I mean, year to date on this account's $54K. You can see it right in front of your face. It's been pretty nice. So 54,000 so far in this account alone. This has only been, this has been like a few weeks. Year to date, you can see Nvidia, just nailing Nvidia, man. That's pretty much it. Just always nailing Nvidia. Love Nvidia. SPY, not bad. These were stocks that I sold that were in this account. They were just sitting here, and then a little bit of a loss on Tesla. Yeah. So, yeah, I used this account to invest in the money market mutual fund, and I saw buying power, and I was like, man, some buying power. You're like, oh shit, I want some. I want to use some of that. So yeah, that's why I'm starting to trade a little bit in it. But yeah, it's primarily for this. Yeah. So that's my E-Trade account. All right. 3 minutes. 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Until CPI. Let's press the like button. We'll look at Tesla real quick because Tesla is very, very interesting. Actually, you know what we'll do? We'll take a quick peek at the M1 Finance account just to give you guys an idea of what I've done over the last few weeks as the market's pulled back. We'll kill a little bit more time before the CPI reading. Oh, let me make sure I log in before showing you my username and password there. Thank you very much. M1 Finance just continues to go higher, man. It just continues to go higher. So activity, you guys can see, August 5th, I throw about 10K in Broadcom at around $140 per share. That's up great. August 6th, I threw about $5,000, $3,000 in Broadcom, some more Google, some more Microsoft, some more Apple, some more Netflix. Some great entries here. Apple at 208. Apple's at 222 now, so awesome dip buys there. August 8th, I bought $2,500 of Nvidia at 104. I bought another $2,500 of Broadcom at 144. And I bought some Apple, some TSM. All right, so really nice dip buys there. And then, was this yesterday? Yesterday, I bought more Broadcom. So I'm just sort of getting into Broadcom. So I talked about me buying Broadcom, and those were the dip buys that I took, guys. Just a heads up there. Long term, look at this. Look at this little dip. Look at this pop. Look at this thing. Look at that right side over there, right? Let me go to the 3-month, right? You see that little retracement? Bam. So, really nice. I have Palantir in my other E-Trade account. Not in here. So, sick. This week, up about 20 grand in the long term this week. Just buying those shares, 20 grand in the long term. 1 month, though, down 21K. Right? Down 21K in the last month. But that'll be back like it never happened. I truly believe that. All right. That's the long term. Here we go. CPI time. Let's go ahead and get a peek on that. Let's get a peek on that ES. Let's see what this ES wants to do. All right. CPI in about 2 seconds. Here we go. Okay. Little up, little down. What's the reading? That's crazy that's holding. If this actually holds, that's crazy. Look at that demand step up right there. Oh, that's interesting. What's the reading? Look at that demand step up right there. Jeez. I mean, if that holds, that's pretty good. We'll see if it does. Where's the reading? Why is it not updating? Hello? 3 point... Is it 3.2? That's higher than the forecast, no? Okay, well, obviously this website ain't working because I've been updating this 10 times. Still not updating. Come on now. $2.9. 2.9. So it did come in under forecast. Oh, what the hell is this? Get this out of my screen. Okay, so 2.9 versus 3. Right? Very nice. I mean, that's okay. Right? It's pretty much in line. 1 basis point below. 2.9 versus 3. All right. So that's that. Let's see how the market is reacting. Nasdaq, big hold to that 19K. Very big hold to that 19K. QQQ, big hold to that 460. All right, so we definitely, I mean, it's easy. It's easy now. SPY's still under that 543, though. 543.50. I mean, it's pretty easy now, right? We're just watching this level now. We've just gotten confirmation that if the Nasdaq futures, right, this is about as clear as it gets. If the Nasdaq futures goes under 19,000 today, you look for the short side. If the Nasdaq futures are above 19,000, we look to see if it holds. It's forget CPI even happened, guys. Just throw it away. If you come into the day and you just focus on this 19K level, I think your trading day will be very nice. So let's see. All right? If we come down into this 19K that just got wick tested here, if we break under it today, we are looking for downside continuation. If the Nasdaq comes back down to this 19K and holds at this level, and you try to short into 19K, right, you are exposing yourself to that hold again. It is very clear here. 19,000 on the Nasdaq futures, line in the sand today. ES, I believe it's 54.40, line in the sand. QQQ, line in the sand, 460. Very clear. Very, very clear. Let's see what it does. 460, right? Nasdaq futures, 19,000, line in the sand. ES, 54.40. Let's see. All right, let's see. If we get that drop, we get that move, and we trade it. Right, guys? Who cares which direction it is? That's the key. Okay? So let's see. 54.40, 19,000. QQQ. 460. Boom. Easy. Right? We got the levels. We got the levels. So, very nice. Let's keep watching them. Tesla. Let's get into some stocks. Tesla. Teslita. I like thinking about Tesla like a just when I say Teslita, I think of just Tesla as a Latina. Teslita. All right. Where would I like Tesla to pull back to? Where would I like Tesla to pull back to? 203.50. 203.50 would be where I'd like Tesla to pull back to. That would really be a nice watch. If we can pull back to these previous highs, and if we can pull back to that 200 SMA today, and if we can get this, right, and we see Tesla defend here, definitely interested to see what happens at this 203.50, okay? That is very important to me. Now, if we do not get a pullback to 203.50, we have to watch 208 today. 208 looks like it's possibly holding right now. So, 208, 203.50. If we hold above 208, I think Tesla can continue higher. If we break under 208, I want Tesla back at 203.50. If Tesla comes back to 203.50, I would be very aware of these previous highs possibly turning into a support low. Okay? That is 203.50. That is as clear as it can possibly be. So, 203.50, that's your pullback level to watch today. I would love to see that come back down at that level and then see what happens. Now, on the flip side, right, it becomes sexy to both sides, right? Because if Teslita breaks under 203.50 and starts to reject the 200 SMA, I mean, that is a for sure look for downside, right? If we get under the 200 SMA and back under those channel highs and we see rejections under 203.50, that is a for sure look for downside, right? So this level is really nice, right? It could be both sides, and let's look for those trades today off that level, okay? Very nice. The level I would be careful of to the upside is this 211.50 area. Looks like a tough spot, all right? Look at this right here, 211.50, 211.50. What else is that 211.50? It's the 50 SMA, guys, right? It's right here. It's that thick boy. It's just sitting there, right? That 50 SMA is just sitting right here. So I'm a little bit cautious longing into that, right? So why do I want the pullback? Because the pullback would give me opportunity, right? So if the pullback comes in 203.50, I would possibly look to long into that 211.50. But I'm not interested in longing right into that 211.50 if we're just sort of higher at open, all right? So 211.50, 208, 203.50. Very nice. Nvidia, little pullback here in the pre-market. 116 is the key. 116 is the key today. Yesterday it was 112. We talked about 112 all pre-market. What an absolutely sexual hold of 112 yesterday. And that daily 20 SMA. That could not have gotten any better yesterday. We'll have that live trade tonight on YouTube, so make sure you guys check that out. I'll be posting a video about that trade and some other trades I've taken this month so far. Do a little bit, can't talk. A little bit of a month-to-date recap. 116, right there. 116, right there. That's your level today. You got to hold over 116. If you can hold over 116, then I believe you can see the upside continuation on Nvidia. You got to hold over 116, though. If you break back under 116, right, that is where I think you can lose some strength and start to see a little bit of downside. That is very possible, okay? So 116 is your level. Under 116, I do think you could see 112 again, right? You could navigate back down to that 112 again. It's very possible. That is dependent on what happens here. So that is your big watch today. 116. Be careful up at the 50 at 120. AMD, man, it's something's different here. Something feels a little bit different here, right? All the shit we talked about AMD, it finally been hearing it, right? AMD's been hearing it. You know, it said, don't put that on my name, right? AMD has absolutely started to do something different here, right? We talked about AMD yesterday off that 134. We talked about AMD over 139 over this channel, right? Something is changing here. And yesterday was a beautiful continuation day for AMD, finally. Finally, some backbone behind this stock. 145 is probably your test, right? That's probably your next test, 145. That's where I think you will move into, right? I think that it pretty much makes sense that AMD has to test this level. That's your next big test. If we get a pullback to 139 at any point here, that is absolutely going to be my watch for a long, right? If you can pull back to here, 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 right? If you can pull back to that level and see buying step up at 139, that is absolutely my look for longs into 145, all right? But if we don't get a pullback, which it doesn't look like we're getting one, you might just push right into that 145. And if you do, you got to be careful of the longs there, guys, right? That is still a major rejection point for AMD. Do not forget about that. You have to be aware of 145, right? This is not just a mindless long. You have to be careful of 145. This could reject again, right? It's the same rejections here, very clear if you're just reading the charts. So you have to get above 145 to really confirm that next move, okay? Let's go to Qualcomm because Qualcomm got over that 200 SMA. I've been stalking this one as well, 165. Look for that pullback long 165 today. That's something I'd watch there. Oh, MU. Ever since that the share repurchase, it's been strong, right? MU got over our 97.50. I think MU's coming to 102, guys. I really think that's where you got to test here, right? There's really no reason for MU to stop right here. That is pretty much nothing, right? So if MU stays over 97.50, I think you're going to see 102. That's if it stays over 97.50. Look for pullback longs at 97.50. Look for that target up into 102. 102 is the 200 SMA. That could be a tough spot. ARM, really nice curl on ARM over this 123.50 level. If we go to this hourly chart, ARM got over 120, which is great to see. And it's also over this 123.50. You can see it's holding right here. If ARM continues to hold, I think your next test is these lows at 129, 130, and that 100 SMA. So a little bit careful there. I would want pullbacks to 120, right? This would be my next long here, 120. Without that, I'll probably leave ARM alone. 120 is where I want to see it. SMCI, I think you're going to get this gap fill, guys, up to 600, right? You can see right here, 600. That's really your gap fill. But that's only if you hold above 564. If I go to the 5-minute chart, right, you can see, look what SMCI is doing. SMCI is holding over the previous day highs, right? This is Monday's highs at 564. And look at how that level turned into support yesterday. That is about as perfect as it can get. So if SMCI comes back to 564, you can possibly look for that long entry today off that level, looking for that gap fill to 600. Now, if SMCI fails 564, it's going lower, okay? It's going lower, under 564. That's the key level. Broadcom. Yeah, we bought the shares at 140. Shout out Piff. I'm not even interested in trading this long. I'm not even interested in trading options on this, guys. I'm just going to be a total just long investor. 140. What a dip buy. I'm very happy with that. I'm really not even sure I want to trade this on the intraday. I'm not sure I like Broadcom's action on the intraday to be an options trader on it. I just don't think it's as quick as I'd like. It's not bad. But I think it's a little bit more of a buy the shares and forget it. That's for me. But there is an interesting little downtrend here coming up soon, right? Be careful here. 50 SMA and that 157 looks a little bit tough. I would look for pullbacks to 150. I'd look for pullbacks to 140. Kava. I'll go to Kava real quick because Kava is on a major comeback. What a comeback move on Kava. What a sick comeback move on Kava. What a hold over 90, right? Remember that 90 level on Kava? We were talking about this a few months back in June. 90. What a hold, right? And if we get over 97, guys, this is probably a $100 stock relatively quickly. So watch 97, watch 90. Those are your two levels. If Kava gets over 97 and holds, that could be that move to 100. So keep an eye on that thing. Amazon. Holding some Amazon overnight. Man, is this an interesting trade. Man, is this an interesting trade. You got your Amazon gap, guys. Really interesting here. Amazon gap. I think your next level is 170. It's these lows right here. It's 174. So I'm definitely going to be careful around that 174 on Amazon. The next level is this low right here, which is 177. Right there. All right, those are some next levels that I'd be careful of. 174, 177. Gap fill is right here up into that 182, 181, 181.50, right in there. But this is a gap, right? And I am very interested to see how Amazon navigates through this. What I would be looking for today to know whether Amazon is going to continue this gap fill is a hold over that 168.77 level. We talked about this level, right? We can see the rejections, the rejections, the rejections, the rejections. Right now, you can see we are holding above the 200 SMA, and we are holding above that 168.77. If Amazon is above the 200 and above 168.77, it's going to build this strength here, right? And this would be that next move into probably 174, probably that next move into 177 in that 20 SMA, and maybe, just maybe, you get that full gap fill. So we'll see, but that 168.77 and that 200 SMA is a must-watch here. Microsoft got over that 410 level we've been stalking, and what a push and hold that was over 410. I know some of you guys caught this in the chat yesterday. 410 holds, previous highs into perfect holds. That is gorgeous. Next level, though, 417, right? 417, next level. That's your major spot. Be careful of 417 on Microsoft. I'm actually going to go ahead and set an alert there because I want to know if Microsoft gets above that level. Palantir, over 30. It's good over 30, man. It's good over 30. That's the level. We've been talking about 30. Nothing has changed here. Look at that hold over 30 yesterday. It's pretty sexy over 30. I mean, I would be a long player over 30. That's pretty clear. And I'm getting a call that I cannot answer. So yeah, Palantir over 30. Very nice. Boeing. I know, Margin, you wanted to look at Boeing. You got to get over this 172 here, Margin. All right, look at this thing. Look at this 4-hour low. You got to get above here. 170, 150, 172. That looks a little heavy there, man. So I'd want to get above this before even interested in that. 172 area, 170, 150. Careful there. Shopify. I wanted to share with you guys Shopify because if Shopify gets over this 70 level, this could be a big breakout. Keep an eye on this shop. Shop over 70 is big. This is the Shopify major 70 supply, and this is also the daily 200 SMA. That would be big on Shop. Watch 70 on Shop. CrowdStrike. Yeah, what a perfect trade this was. I don't know if you guys are. I don't know if we talked about this yesterday, but in our TA section yesterday, we talked about this trend break on CrowdStrike. Man, that was sick. That was a sick move on CrowdStrike. What a move over that downtrend. 252. If you hold over 252, that would be your next spot to look for longs. Over 252 right here. Right? See this? 252, 252, 252. Look to see if you can hold over 252. If you can, I think that continues. Pull back longs, 247. 247, 252. Meta did exactly what we wanted Meta to do. The 510 holds into the 528 highs. If Meta holds over 528, I think you're going higher, right? That's the key. This is the 528 highs right here. You can see it's sort of rejecting this morning. Let's see if we can hold over 528. It's really 527.17. Let me go ahead and put that on the exact level. 527.17. That's the exact high there. So I want to see if that can hold above 527.17. If we can hold above that level, right? If we can see this previous high turn into a low today, then I would expect this to move into our next 539, 540 supply. BAMF, put your money wherever you want, man. Put it into the SPY if you just want to buy the market. I'm not going to tell you where to put your money. That's not why I'm here. All right? Put it into the SPY. Put it into the market. Nasdaq futures, all about 19K today, guys. You can see right here, 19K. Look at that hold. That is the hold that you want to watch. If we fail below this, guys, we're going lower. Okay? 19,000. Must hold level. If we hold that, I think we're going higher to 19.4. If we fail under 19K, we're going lower. Okay? This is a very clear flip level on the day. Very clear. 460 on the Qs, about as clear as it possibly gets. The daily 20 SMA and this wick low, 460. You break under 460, you're seeing selling coming in. 460, clear as can be there. ES, 5450, 5440, very clear zone. Daily 20 SMA, if you hold that level, you're going higher to 5485. If you break under this flip low, right? If you flip under this low, you're going lower, right? Very clear levels. So pay attention to them. Trade off of them. TTL. Trade whatever action comes in today. I'm going to do some adjusting on the camera, guys. I think it looks good, right? I think it looks really good when I'm looking at it. But there is a little bit of slow motion going on, it feels like. So I'm going to try to change the shutter speed. I know some of you guys talked about that. Maybe I'll change the FPS. Right now it's in 60 FPS. I don't think I need 60 FPS. I'll probably move it down to 24. And then someone said double, so 2450, shutter speed 50, and then 24 FPS. So I'll probably change it to that and see if it works better. All right, guys, press that like button, subscribe to the channel. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for all the likes and subscribes and the donations. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Have a fantastic trading day, and I will see you tomorrow. Peace.
Girls with their nails done now.